Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Ever since Veresa's first gameplay teasers came out, the only thing me and a lot of people in the community could think about was how similar her running animation was to Sonic's. But what if I told you that's not the only similarity between her and Sonic, and there are way more things she does that are quite similar to the blue Hedgehog, and not only regarding Varesa but also the two new explorable areas we got in this update. And this is what I'm here to show you today, the many similarities between Varesa and the new areas to Sonic the Hedgehog. And I also show later on the video similarities Genshin has had to Sonic even before this update came out. So grab a snack, a drink and relax while I'll tell you the many similarities I could notice between these two IPs. Let's start with the most obvious one. When you hold Veresa's skill button and she starts running, it looks a lot like classic Sonic's running animation. While Varesa is running with her skill, she can also run on top of water, just like Sonic boosting in Generations. When Varesa's boost gauge ends, she switches back to her normal running, and this is similar to how when Sonic's 9 soul points end, he switches back to normal running without the boost. Another thing about her normal running animation is that even though she's not running at her top speed, she's still running faster than any other character because of her road passive. Which reminds me of Sonic running in the city in Sonic 06, because even though he's not at his top speed, he's still running faster than anyone. During Varesa's normal attack combo, she does a somersault on her second normal attack, which is just like the somersault in Sonic Adventure 2. In the Collective of Plenty's Tribe quests, aka Varesa's story quest, there's a gameplay section that looks a lot like a 2D Sonic level. While running with her skill, Varesa can destroy boulders when she's running, which looks a lot like when Sonic boosts into enemies, or when he destroys boulders in the Shadow of Rival fight in Sonic Generations as well. When Varesa runs off a ramp or any ledge in the game, it looks like when Sonic uses a dash panel. Speaking of dash panels, during the world quests in the area inside the volcano, there are these arrows in the ground that look like dash panels from Sonic levels. And while exploring the area around the volcano, you can find these circles that give you a boost of speed when running with Varesa, and they look like dash rings. When Varesa is running with her skill, you can press the skill again to do a little dash forward that regenerates some Night Soul points, and you can build this little dash as something similar to the Lightspeed dash or when Sonic uses the dash ring, because of the little spin Varesa does. When Varesa is at max constellations, you can manage her Night Soul points to keep her running forever. This is like getting infinite boosts from Sonic Frontiers, but you have to use way more money to get it. This one might be a bit far-fetched, but Varesa's plunging attacks look similar to when Sonic uses homing attack on enemies, or when he stomps the ground like in that challenge in Sonic Generations. When using Varesa's ultimate, she does a little spin in the air, followed by a flying double kick. This looks similar to one of the attacks Sonic does during his combos in Sonic Frontiers. Throughout the volcanic area, there are many NPCs that can give you time challenges that feel like a small-scaled Sonic level. During these challenges, you can also get S ranks or SS ranks for max points, just like in many Sonic games. Throughout the new area, there are also some of these stone snake constructs that you can ride, and one of them that even offers a small boss fight. And this specific part about these enemy, that can also be found in other places, requires you to dash into them. This feels very familiar to some Sonic boss fights that you need to home attack specific enemy parts to deal damage. This might be a little far-fetched as well, but Varesa loves eating hamburgers, and Sonic, on the other hand, loves eating hot dogs. And there's an argument that can be made to say that both of them are different types of sandwiches, but this is a controversial debate that I won't be talking about in this video, but I will leave for you guys in the comments. And this last one might stretch it a bit too thin, but Varesa, much like Sonic, also has a super form. When Varesa puts her mask, she gets a boost of confidence and courage that in turn makes her stronger and faster during fights. This is much like when Sonic becomes super and wipes the floor with his enemies, except for a few occasions. And this is all the similarities I noticed between Sonic and Varesa. Now I'm gonna talk about some other things that could be seen as reference to Sonic that were in the game since before 5.5. Starting with two obvious ones, everyone already knows at this point that when Shilonen is running with her skill, she looks a lot like Shadow when he's running. There's even a skin mod which switches Shilonen's model for Shadow's. And going in a bit of a tangent here, I'd love if in one of those multiplayer events, there are a series of multiple minigames where you use a specific character to complete each. There could be one that was a race where you could choose between Varesa and Shilonen to kind of simulate the race mode in Sonic Adventure 2. Or, you know, Hoyo wouldn't do it. It would be kind of cool if someone did something like that on a teapot. Maybe that's probably possible, but would be kind of hard. But it would be cool to see a race between Varesa and Shilonen. Although Varesa is probably way faster, it could still be fun nonetheless to put Shadow versus Sonic in Genshin Impact. Then another one that everyone already knows by now, Sayu's skill animation looks a lot like classic Sonic's spin dash. Also the air rings that you can find in Mondstadt and other challenges throughout Teyvat work very similarly to dash rings in the Sonic games. When you press and hold spacebar with Stali, she starts gliding in the air, which you could argue it's a bit similar to when Rouge and Knuckles glide. Molani uses a surfboard to travel around the world, and what is a surfboard? It's not a skate without wheels. And there are many Sonic games that have a level where Sonic uses a skate without wheels to get through a part of the level, most common one being Cityscape. When Dihya uses her ultimate, she starts throwing fiery punches. And who is a character in the Sonic franchise who is famous for throwing fiery punches? That's right, Knuckles. This next one is something that's been in my mind for a very long time, and is regarding Mavuika's design. She wears a skin-tight black suit, she has red hair, she has a freaking cool motorcycle, and she's also a Latina, which are all things you can trace back to Team Dark. The skin-tight black suit from Rouge, the red and black combination from Omega and Shadow, the motorcycle Shadow's been quite famous for using, and her being a Latina, which Shadow really likes Latinas. And also a fun little thing at the end, Aoife, Chaska, Chevreuse, Clorinda and Navia are all characters who can use guns in the game. And guns, as we all know, is something Shadow's been quite famous for using at this point. And these are some things I noticed in Genshin that are quite similar, if not the exact same, in the Sonic franchise. And let me know in the comments down below if you have anything else in Genshin that feels familiar because of the Sonic franchise. Anyway, thanks everyone who watched, liked, commented, subscribed, I appreciate all of you, and have a good rest of the morning, afternoon, evening. Goodbye.
お父さんとお母さんがこう言ってたんだ。どれだけ忙しくどれだけ強いお酒で